brothers and sisters. Your very nature is love. Love in all of its forms. And what happens, unfortunately, on this plane is that every pure experience of love quickly becomes co-opted by the ego. So if you have a wonderful experience, excuse me, if you have a wonderful experience, that experience very quickly becomes a concept. And soon after that, it becomes part of a moralistic system of right and wrong, good and bad. It's better to have this experience than not. And if you look at your life, things that have been wonderful very quickly become things that you should do. Just take the example of drinking water, which is a holy act. You're actually being helped by the angel of water. As soon as you tell yourself that you should hydrate, the act has lost something. Even when you're drinking the water, instead of experiencing the joy and the nourishment and the love that's in the water and in your body, you're fulfilling a concept called I should hydrate. And something is lost, at least in your experience. And part of awakening is allowing yourself to recover the purity that was captured in all of the scriptures and then quickly co-opted. My teachings very quickly became ways to separate when I was teaching just the opposite. My teaching became ways to control people, make people wrong, add a moralistic tone to it. So you should go to church and you should forgive and you should hate the sin but love the sinner. All of those ideas. They've lost their juice when they become just concepts and dictums. Finding your way home, which you've never left, has to do with being open to the purity and the innocence that you are. It's not about being good. It's not about being right. It's about being. Your being is good by its very nature. Your being is joy by its very nature. Your being is creative by its very nature. As soon as you feel that you should do something, it sets up a resistance. The very thing that you want to do now becomes something you have to do, or you better do, or else you'll feel guilty. You don't come to God because you're afraid of what you might have done to him, afraid of his wrath. You come to God because of love, because that's who you are, and that's the experience you want, in absolute innocence. Yesterday, this one decided that he didn't have time to meditate. And he didn't have time to join his group. Too many other busy things he had to do. And he dealt with a certain amount of guilt, like he felt that he was playing hooky. And then he had a line of conversation justifying why it's okay. He doesn't have to meditate. And at the end of the day, he had a wonderful experience, which was, even though I don't have to meditate, I don't like this experience as much as when I do. It felt very gratifying to miss meditation, but not out of guilt, and not out of should, and not out of punishment. There was just a certain quality that was missing during the day. It wasn't a bad day. Just didn't have that centered, loving quality to it. And it set up in him a yearning to have that experience. Not to be good, not to prove anything, not to tick a box. It wasn't in the category of should. It was in the purest desire for peace. A desire to do the right thing for the right reason, having nothing to do with wrong. It is its own reward. Let love pull you in. Let love return you to yourself, because it's who you are. Don't fight against anything. Just let the attraction of who you are return you to yourself, to me, to all of us. I love you, and I'll speak with you again soon.